Grand Rising, everyone. Grand Rising. This is Tiffany Martinez. I wanted to make this video to share basically with the world or whoever decides to see it and whoever decides to just listen. It's about 5 a.m. my time, but I've been up since about 1:30 or 2 and a lot of pain, physical pain. And none of my videos will ever be a clickbait, I promise you. I'm just documenting this because I've been in physical pain since the age of 12. And it just seems like it's just getting progressively worse. You know, if you knew the levels of medication that I have to take every single day without making my body feel like it's in the shape of a knot pretzel. A lot of people don't understand the severity of somebody being in physical pain while being depressed. The depression roots from the pain, something that they cannot change. It doesn't matter if you've seen any of my videos on the weight loss journey. I dropped over 200 pounds on my own, and my body was still in the same level of pain that it was before I lost weight, you know? And since my husband transitioned, now I'm dealing with emotional depression. And also since he transitioned, if you ever seen the original, The Color Purple, with Whoopi and, Danny Glover. And there's a scene in the movie where she packs all her stuff and she's ready to go, and she meets the car or whatever it was, to, take her, from what she's, struggling with, take her to freedom, and she looks at the lady like, well, what do you want to do? And she gives like a shifty eye to, Mr. or Mr. And she says, I just want to let you know I'm going to miss you, and the scene when the car pulls off, she's holding her bags and she just collapses right there. That's what it pretty much felt like on 11/30/2021. And I try to keep the three problems separated, like the grief, the depression that's rooted from the pain, and the pain, but and it seems like, and family does it too, and I think they do it. This is just an observation. I think people in general will brush off, not that they're dismissing what you're going through. It's just they have their own problems and they love you and they care about you, but they always say, you need to find someone, to talk to it, talk about it. And I'm thinking to myself, but I'm talking to you, So, and then if you go see a doctor, which I don't like doing for this situation, because before 11:30, I knew where the depression was coming from, and it was coming from the physical pain. That, when I say physical, it roots from the crown all the way down to the soles of my feet. So I know where the depression was rooted from them, and there is no magical pill for depression, and there damn sure isn't a magical pill for grief. And there's nothing anybody can do. And I was told from someone local that you should go to like a grief circle or whatever you call it, and to tell your story because somebody needs to hear your story. I'm thinking to myself, that's the last place that I need to be, is surrounded by other people dealing with loss. I think my body would just explode, just from feeling too much. You know, I'm very sensitive. Not, I wouldn't say sensitive, I am a sensitive, and I'm also an empath. So to be surrounded by other people that's like struggling with stuff, my goodness, I think my whole soul would just, I probably would just explode. Cause no. So, anyways, I just wanted to make this video because unless you have gone through it, you won't understand, you won't understand, and you definitely won't overstand. And it just sucks because, you know, there's people, like I said, that I could call, but they generally don't want to hear that you're sad or depressed. They don't want to hear that. Because as I stated, everybody goes through something. I have yet to meet anyone that's having a perfect life or a perfect day. So I remember on 11:30, and it still makes me sad that when I tried to reach my mother, because I kept calling her, she was so busy. I mean, to be 74, I'm like, what could you possibly be doing that's keeping you so busy? And I kept calling her, and I kept calling her, and she wasn't answering her phone. So I called my grandmother, and I was telling her, I was hysterical, and I remember telling her that I needed to speak to my mom, and she was like, "What's wrong?" And I said, "My husband died." And she was shocked. So she said, I just kept talking, and I said he could speak to my mom. And and my grandmother, who just turned 91 last month, she says, "You're making me very sad right now." And I said, "I'm so sorry, but I need to speak to my mom." And she says, "Well, I can't call her if you're on the phone." And I said, "I didn't want her to leave me on the phone. I just wanted my mom." So, shortly after I got off the phone with my grandmother, my mom called, and I told her, and she was so distraught because they had open wounds that she had been dealing with since 2012, since my daddy passed away. And she says, "This is like Tony all over again." And I said, "I know, and I'm so sorry to have to tell you." So I don't know what day it was, but I called my grandmother back. I told her, I apologized to her, because I've never done anything to my grandmother, never. And I just felt like that I caused her unnecessary pain. Anyways, I just wanted to share that with you because I just wanted to share that with you. I just find it very difficult to, some people are just wired differently, I guess, but for me, it's like, my husband, we were about to celebrate our 21st year in March of 2022 because we met the summer of 2001. I'll never understand why. And I know I'm not the only one, but I'll never understand why. Like, you hear the stories where a family of five, the parents are obviously in the front and the kids are in the back. The kids are it was a fatal car accident, but only one survivor. I'll never understand that. And someone who's viewing this video or having the same conversation, they may say, well, they have another purpose. Like, no. I mean, that's possible too, but I mean, like that's just too much to make someone rise up from the ashes. That's just too much. And then November the following year, 2022, November 4th, my mother transitioned. I remember talking to her nearly every single day, and I kept asking for healing. I kept asking, please spare her. I kept saying she doesn't deserve this. Everybody has problems with their parents growing up. They don't agree and, they butt heads. But I said, my mother doesn't deserve this. Just like my husband didn't deserve what he went through. And they're still taken away from me. I feel like my humanity switch is turning off completely, is shutting down. And there's nothing that's gonna be able to fix that.